Okay. So last week Saturday we started something wonderful on factors of authentication, right? And we ended at the fact that all of these things are supposed to happen and are supposed to align you to a policy. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Yes,
Hello.
yes.
Yes. And then I remember I showed you samples of some policies I had. And so we want to continue from that side. Are we ready to go?
I guess so.
Okay. And so for this particular week, we are going to look at a control library. We'll go over what a control library is. We started that last week. I think that was the last thing we touched on last week. Is that so?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So control library. I think we defined it, but then let's go over that again and then we'll pick it up. Okay. And that will serve the foundation for this week and then probably next week. So a control library is a repository or a collection of controls that an organization uses or man. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen. Are you seeing my screen?
No, no, please.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. I thought I was sharing. Are you now seeing my screen?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry about that. I thought I was sharing. So a control library is a repository or a collection of controls. I think we spoke about this last week, where you have controls. So then I opened my controls. So this can qualify as control library. Can we see the folders?
Yes, we
Yes.
see.
Yeah, so access use policy, access management policy, encryption management policy. Where is that? Okay, so then all of these policies are control policies of the organization. And so the folder in which they keep it is a library. And I remember I was giving the example that you can look at a school library. It's just a collection of books. So when you need a book, you walk into the library and then you pick the book and read. So a control library is more like a library where you put all the controls your company is going to use in that library. So anytime you need a particular type of control or refer, you just go into that library, you pick it up, you read or you use it. And so these controls are often aligned to specific frameworks, standards, regulations, frameworks, standards, regulations. Okay, so there is COSO. There are lots of frameworks that as a cybersecurity analyst, we'll get into frameworks soon. But then you have to know all of them and develop your controls to align with the framework. The local one is the Ghana Data Protection Act, and then the cybersecurity laws of Ghana. So as a cybersecurity analyst. If you want to be a local champion, these two, start sleeping with them, start chewing them, let it be your Bible. Okay. And then we're going to have ISO, HIPAA, all of these things, NIST. These are all frameworks you are going to use, or you have to be able to understand them and how to implement them. This is one thing I tell people. You don't have to know all the laws, right? You just have to be able to appreciate, they have a fair appreciation of them. Just like the Constitution. You cannot know all the laws in the Constitution. But then when you need a particular thing, you can reference the Constitution, look for it, and come and apply. Is that understood?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay. So, for instance, let's look at access control. Okay. Access control. So, if you want to have a control, okay, so this is the control ID. So then in the library, okay, in the control library, you have to name all the controls and give it an ID so that when you get into the library and you're looking for that particular control, it is not difficult for you to find. So the first thing you have to look at is the control ID. So this one, access control, we have named it AC01. So then you know that in your library, you've recorded it somewhere, that in your library, when you see AC01, it represents access control. Then you come to the control name, user access management. The description, just 1 or 2 lines telling us what the control is about. So implement and enforce user access control to ensure that only authorized personnel can access critical systems and data. So this particular one is to ensure that only authorized personnel can access critical systems and data. So then this control is to restrict access to the data, the number of people that can access a data or a system. What is the objective of the control? To prevent unauthorized access to sensitive information and systems. So then this is a nice metadata for your access control. Okay, so then your access control is a control mechanism, but that particular control now has been saved in the control library. Do we get it? Is it clear? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you.
I wanted to be sure. Okay. So the second control, so this is how the library looks like. Data encryption. So then control ID, DE02. It means that it's data encryption. It is the second control, 02. All right. Then the same thing you did for access control. So the control name, data encryption at rest. So this control is for encryption. So what is the description? Encrypt sensitive data at rest using industry standard. Okay, I didn't talk about one thing when we're looking at access control. So framework alignment. And so it's mentioning that the control is aligned to ISO 27701. And then next 800-53. What's this? more like second version. Okay. Now, it means that when you look at access control, whatever we are doing is falling in between these laws. Now, when we come to encryption, it's looking at PCI DSS. This is for those of you who work on the banking sector, where you are using payment cards. Okay, then you are using ISO 27001 again. You have NIST 800. And so that means that this is the law on which you are doing encryption. And so whatever type of encryption you are doing is an encryption that is aligned to that type of encryption stated in these laws. What is the objective? Is to protect data from unauthorized access or theft when it is stored. I think this is clear enough. Okay, so I think I mentioned in one of the days change management. So what is change management? Okay, so then change control process. Implement a formal process for managing changes to IT systems, including testing, approval, and documentation. Okay, so for instance, we have implemented a need to know or access control that limits you to certain informations you can have on the system. Okay. Now, if you want a higher access, more than what you need, maybe you are doing a project, you're a nurse or whatever, you have a particular limit on the kind of information you can have. Once you need that information, you need to write to a higher authority for the authority to approve of the fact that you need access to that type of information. And that process you have to go through should be clearly spelled out in your change management control. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Obi ankasa me ho. Anayempo.
Oh, yes, sir. We
We are
responded.
listening. Yeah, we are listening.
Okay, I just wanted to know if you understand there's a challenge. If you are okay. If you are okay, someone can just
It's becoming a little technical, but we are still managing. We are following.
okay, you are following. So if you have any challenge, let me know and then we can solve it along the line. All right.
Please, when are you going to make the slides available?
Oh, okay. Then once we are done, I'll drop this particular one in the group. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so
But
please.
the previous ones, have you posted them in the group?
I'll have to check. I'll have to check. All right.
Okay.
Yes. There was a lady's voice I heard.
Yes, I was asking about the frameworks.
Yes.
With that, will there be a law handout or something that you can easily make reference to, or how do you
Yeah,
identify?
so I'll
which
make,
one
once we get into development of the policies, I'll make the frameworks, then the standards available.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I'll make them available. It's just like going to law school and you need textbooks. You need these frameworks as foundations too. And listen, they are very voluminous, not to scare you. To be in this space, you should love to read. You should love to study. You should be conscious of the fact that and you're going to do it. You understand? And so you should be open to read, to learn continuously. And it's just like You see the way new laws are added to our constitution daily. Almost every day, Parliament is passing Act something as amended by this law. And so
Yeah.
almost every time there's an amendment going on. So for instance, maybe you use PCI 6 months ago. You want to do another policy on PCI. Okay. You'd have to be able to, within that 6 months, something would have changed. Something would have changed in the policy or in the framework. So always keep yourself abreast with the laws, keep yourself abreast with information happening in the ecosystem. That will also help you keep yourself up to date. You're going to put a law. Okay. So that we'll walk through all of that as we go deeper. We are getting into the deeper waters now. So let's be very, very attentive. So then change management, like I was saying, change management has to do with the fact that you don't have access to this information. Okay, that's just one of the things change management does. You don't have access to this information. Then you need access. Once you need access, you have to write and request for access. Your access has to be vetted. You understand? Then there has to be a process that is going to approve and then communicated to you. And so that process is clearly spelled out in the change management policy or control. All right. There is incident response. Incident response has to do with, okay, so then you name the control name, incident response planning, the description. Look at it carefully now. Develop and maintain an incident response plan that outline the procedures for detecting, responding, and recovering from security incidents. So you remember what we learned about incident detection, intrusion detection, intrusion prevention, and recovery plan. And so that is what your incident response control is all about. So develop and maintain an incident response plan, and it clearly states the procedures for detecting. So then the control will tell you which kind of, for the want of a better word, software or mechanism you should use for detection. If you are using encryption, it will tell you the type of software to use, the version to use. All right. So incident response, it will tell you all of that, all that you need to know. Okay.
Sorry, I don't know whether it's my network, but I could hear everything you're saying.
Oh la la.
Apostle, the network is bad today.
Terrible, eh?
Very.
Okay, let's move on. If you have any challenge here. Okay. Is it clear now? I've repositioned myself a little bit. Is it clear?
Yes, it is. Let's manage this and see.
Okay. Okay. So do we understand the incident response?
Yes, please.
Okay. So then look at this carefully. The framework alignment. This one, incident response, is aligning to NIST ISO. So if you are doing your controls on incident response, the laws you are looking for at NIST, it looks like NIST is the baseline. Okay, ISO is very popular, and so we're going to be looking at all of that. Why are you having an incident response control? To ensure a prompt and effective response to security incidents, minimizing their impact. The effective response to security incidents. So if an incident happens, what is our response? The incident response control has all of that inside. Then we come to vendor management. There are plenty controls. Plenty. You learn all of that. Vendor management. So third-party risk assessment. I think I posted it on the group and somebody asked me, so if you have, apart from monitoring your own security, you have to monitor the security of your third party. I said yes. So this vendor management control, okay, deals with the control when you are dealing with third party. So conduct regular risk assessment of third-party vendors to ensure they meet the organization's security and compliance requirements. And so it will tell you how. Maybe you are an IT company. Your ISP is MTN. Now, once MTN has a problem, you also have a problem because all your systems are on MTN as ISP, Internet Service Provider. Now, if MTN shuts down, your system shuts down. And so you'll be regularly conducting risk assessments on MTS systems for them. You are not actually doing it for them, you are doing it for your system. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Why are we doing that? To manage and mitigate risk associated with third-party vendors. So you are putting a strong security system, very strong security. Then your third party has a weak security. Inadvertently, your security has been compromised because you are connected to a weak third party. So this vendor management control, the objective is to manage and mitigate the risk associated with third-party vendors. Third-party vendors. And so if you are using a third-party vendor, okay, and you don't do risk assessment on the third-party vendor and ensure that third-party vendors in the cybersecurity space are secured, once you are connected to them, your system, irrespective of any security measure you have put on it, becomes vulnerable to the same vulnerabilities of your third-party vendor. And so when we start handling third-party management, this is a whole job description, a whole portfolio in some organizations. They hire people just for third-party risk assessments. And so it is a field you can get into. We'll look at all of that before we finish this course. All right. Backup and recovery. Backup and recovery. Please, who can tell me, we have learned this already, which part of the CIA triad does backup and recovery handle?
Availability.
Availability. Okay, God bless you. You are learning. So backup and recovery, the control of backup and recovery will tell you how to back up, number one. Okay, let me not get ahead of myself. So control ID, BR06, control name, data backup and recovery. Description, implement regular data backup procedures, and maintain recovery capabilities to ensure data integrity and availability. Framework alignment, ISO 27701, NIST. So you are seeing, why are we doing that? To ensure that data can be restored in the event of loss, ensuring business continuity. So you are ensuring that data can be always restored. It means that data is always available. And such a control, it will tell you how much data to back up at which given space. When you are running a size of a certain company, how frequent should you run backups? Should you do auto backup, auto save? All of that is dealt with in your backup and recovery control as a cybersecurity person. Are we fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. So audit logging. Audit logging. I think we mentioned something about audit trails last 2 weeks Sunday, or yeah, or so audit trails. And so audit logging is just maintaining logs that can be audited. So a log is a system that keeps information about everybody that gets and the activities they do. So if you watch a movie, somebody has gone to steal something from a particular room, and they go and check, and they tell you that at 9:45 your card was used to enter the room. Have you seen that in movies before?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did they get to know that this particular person entered that room at 9:45? Logging. So there's a whole system that keeps the log of activities. Okay. And at any time, it can be audited. So audit logging control gives us how we will do that. So audit log management, that's the name, the description. Enable and maintain audit logs on critical systems to record. So you are saying, look at it. You have to record and monitor user activities and security events. So there's a whole human being behind the system, or even if there's no human being, the system is recording and activities and events. So whatever you do on the system, it is being recorded. The activity is being recorded. It is also to, I think I mentioned this some time back, it is also to ensure non-repudiation, so that nobody can lie that it was not me. The log is showing that it was you. If your card was stolen, then we can now begin to look at a different matter. But then it was your card that was used to enter into the door. Are we fine?
Yes, please.
Okay. So there's physical security control. Physical security. Who goes where? Who? So funny thing happened to me on Thursday. So I was in Jifa Gunu's office, the CEO of.
I don't know whether the network or your voice. It keeps shaking, going on and off.
Okay.
The network today is very fluctuating on your side.
Okay.
Yes.
Very sorry for that. We are trying to manage it. But if it gets to a point where it's inaudible, please alert me so that I can adjust myself.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for understanding. So, like I was saying, I was in Jifa Gunu's office on Thursday, the CEO of Accra Digital Center. and his office, if he doesn't press a key in his office,
You are off. You are off.
So you were at the CEO's office and it went off.
is it fine? Am I back on?
Yes.
You are
Okay.
back
Yeah, it's
on, but
better
we
now.
lost almost everything you said.
Okay, so I'm saying that he has a key in his office or something he presses. If he doesn't press that particular button, you will be at the door forever. That is physical security. Okay, on every office there has physical security. You cannot enter somebody's office without the person giving you access. So this physical security control controls where somebody goes at a particular time. So what is the description? Implements physical security controls such as key card access, surveillance to restrict access to sensitive areas within organization facilities. What is the objective? To prevent unauthorized physical access to critical infrastructure. So there's a server room. It's not everybody that's supposed to go to a server room. Okay? It's not everybody that's supposed to go to a server room. So then how can you prevent people from going into physical security?
Okay.
Oh la la. Physical security. How do you stop people from going to a server room? That comes by physical security.
Yeah.
Yes. And so you have to implement physical security. And you have to use those laws to draw your security control, physical security control. Now, there are lots of the controls. Training and awareness. How to train your staff. How the system to use to train your staff. All of that is in your training and awareness control. Then there's network security. Look at the object, where's network security? So firewall configuration. Configure and maintain firewalls to protect the organization's network from unauthorized access and external threats. Okay, so framework alignment, PCI, NIST. What is the objective? To protect the network by filtering traffic and blocking potential harmful communication. You are protecting the security of the network. And this control is guided by PCI and NIST. Policy management, information security policy. So develop, implement, and maintain an information security policy that outlines an organization's approach to managing security risks. So then the framework is ISO and NIST. What is the objective? To provide a clear, documented approach to information management. Okay. Okay. So that is what a control library is. And so it's just listing all. So this is an example of a control library. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, please.
So this
Yes.
here is a control library. You have a control ID, control name, description, framework alignment, objectives. So once you pick this document, you know all the controls existing in the organization. Is it clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Okay. So that is a control library. All of controls that exist
You are off.
as
Yeah.
So I think you can continue. It went just a bit off there.
Okay. So now we're coming to control register. So there's a library and there's a register. This confuses a lot of people. And so try and stay with me on the register too. Okay. So in your company, you have a lot of controls you can use. They are all listed in the control library. Do we understand that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now, the register now records the actual controls that are being implemented at that particular time. So, like, let's go back to the school library situation I was talking about. There are a lot of books in the library. You can pick. But when you want to borrow a book from the library, your name goes into a certain book in the library. I don't know how many of you borrowed books from your school library.
We used to store them.
Huh? So then you have a library card. Okay. I don't know which school you attended, but you have a library card. Any book you register, you borrow, it is written in that you sign the librarian signs. It means that in all the books that are in the library, you have taken this particular one to go and read. Is it clear?
Yes.
So in all the controls that are in the control library, these are the controls we want to implement for now. Then you move those controls, you copy them from the library into what? The register. Is it clear?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do we get the difference between the control library and the control register? Or there's a question for me?
I actually wanted to find out that the difference between the control register and then the library. But since you are making the comparison, I don't know if this might be right, but just as you made the library from the school, the register also from the school, if I'm using the school scenario, where it has a roster of each individual in the class. So your presence in the class is marked in the register. I don't know if there's a correlation between that and then what we have now for the control register.
Okay, so then let's have the control library, okay, as the names of all the students in the school.
Okay.
Then the control register, your register, if you are in class 5 register is out of the names of all the students. These are the names of the students in class 5.
In class 5, yes.
So all the controls the company would want to implement or has thought of. The control register is the list of the controls actually being implemented now.
Come again, please.
Okay. The control library contains all the controls the company would like to use.
Okay.
Okay. Then the control register has the list of the controls the company is actually using now. So for instance, you have physical access control in your library, okay? But you don't have money now to buy the security locks. So you have not started implementing physical access control. Can that physical access control enter your control register?
No, because
Why?
you're not applying yet.
Yes, you are not applying it yet. So then the control register is the list of the controls you have actually started applying. You have started implementing. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Okay. So when we get to look at the control register, you understand it more. Now, when we're doing the control library, it was a control ID, they use the control name description. All right. And then there was the purpose. But look at the control register. There's a control ID, control name, that is from the library, the description. But look at here, there's what? What do you see here? The one I've highlighted. Owner. Owner. What is the meaning of owner? Anybody?
That's like the one who has full access to the facility.
Okay. Okay. So owner, in simple terms, is the one responsible for the implementation. The one responsible for the implementation. Did you get that?
Yes.
So when it comes to access control, who is in charge of ensuring access control? Thank you. Can somebody tell me?
Access control
is the manager. Oh?
Yeah, so it's here, IT security manager. It's here. The owner, under the owner.
IT security manager.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So, okay, let's look at data encryption. That is the second one. Who is responsible for data encryption?
That's the data protection
officer. Yeah, you are getting it. You are getting it. You are getting it.
Okay.
Change management control. Who is responsible for that?
Management lead.
Change management lead.
Change management
lead.
Change management lead.
Change management lead.
Dela.
Okay, so incident response planning. Who is in charge?
Incident response team lead.
Incident response team.
Team lead.
Yes.
And who is a team lead? Me.
Yes, so let's look at data backup and recovery. Who is in charge?
IT operations
manager. IT operations manager.
Yeah. My students are good. Okay, secure access to facility.
Facilities manager.
Facilities manager.
So you see, it's not. You get the concept now.
Yeah.
So once you get
into, you didn't ask about the audit log.
This one I'm just asking as random to test anybody.
Okay.
So audit log management, who is in charge?
That is us.
IT security analyst.
Yes, that is us.
We that.
Yes.
I just wanted to respond that it is us, that's all.
Okay, no problem. So look at third-party risk assessment. Who is in charge?
Vendor risk manager.
Vendor risk manager. So this is somebody's job. But you see, when we finish doing third party, you realize that it was not really a cumbersome job like that. So a lot of the women find themselves handling third parties. This is not to be stereotypical towards women, but at least with the experience I've found, a lot of the ladies tend to love the third party because it's very simple.
Soft spots.
So, soft life gang. Now, so that is the next thing that comes.
Okay, hello.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir. Please go on.
I have a question.
Shoot.
So, I'm looking at all these owners. They are IT personnel. Are these roles for individual people or maybe a particular person can have the control that is supposed to be implemented?
Okay, so
I don't know if you understand my question.
Yes, you are asking if all of these are individuals or one person can do
I'm
all
asking
of them.
if you yes, I'm asking if one person can do all of them or the company has to employ individuals for each role.
Okay, so in the ideal situation, okay, there should be different people handling different roles. That's the ideal situation. And so if you go into the big companies, KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, E&Y, you would almost always find people doing these jobs. But then if you go to small auditing firms or small IT firms, you can find out that one cybersecurity analyst is doing maybe 3 or 4 or 5 roles. That is why I'm teaching. If you go to some boot camps, they just teach you one rule and they leave you so that you go and look for that one rule. Or they teach you one framework, then you go and learn that one framework and go and work with it. But I'm going to teach a lot of the rules. That's why I'm even saying I'll deal with third party so that we can fit into. If you go and meet an IT company that is looking for multifaceted personnel because they don't have the money to employ individual roles, you can fit into that job. You get it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Okay. So now let's go back to our register. So we now understand what the owner is, right? Do we now understand what the owner means?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
All right. Now let's look at status.
So, Apostle.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes,
so
madam.
please, the owner, is it a standard thing with every control register that
Yes.
once you okay.
So that once you are going to audit, you know who to hold responsible for that.
Okay. So it's a standard thing everywhere. Anyone who picks for every control register you pick, this is how you see it.
It should, even if it's not arranged this way, okay, there should be an assigned officer to that particular control. Even if it is one person handling all the controls, for each control, the person's name or office should be there so that when there is an audit and we are auditing this particular control, you know who to go and talk
to. Okay, all right, thank you.
You're welcome. So one thing I also want you to understand is that the understanding you get here, will also be relevant in other topics we'll be treating. So keep your understanding. All right. So now let's look at the status. The status is the current standing of that particular control. Okay. So this one means what? It has been implemented, right? User access management. What is the status?
It's being implemented.
It has been implemented. It means it is in full force. It is working. It has been fully implemented. Okay. Now, look at data encryption. What is it saying?
In progress.
It's in progress.
It's in progress. So let's use the politician's language. It is in the pipeline. Do you understand? It is in the pipeline. It means that we are working at implementing it, but the politician will see they are at various stages of completion. As to the level of completion, we never get to find out. But then it is in progress. Okay. Now, change management. What is he saying? What is the status of change management?
It is implemented.
It is implemented. Okay. Incident response planning. What is the status?
Implemented.
Implemented.
Implemented. Vendor risk or third party, what in progress. It means that it is still happening. Okay. So then implemented. Do you understand it, please?
Yes, please.
Okay, I think this one is quite simple. So then you look at the date implemented. When was it implemented? So then you write the date. Yes. So you write the date down. Okay. You write the date down. Then, when was the last time you reviewed that control? So, like I was saying,
1st June 2023.
Okay. So then it means that this particular one was reviewed after 6 months. Is it true?
Yep.
6 months. You can decide to set your policy to review after 3 months. It's all dependent on the kind of cybersecurity and privacy policy the company wants to run with. So, last review date, 1st June. So that between 1st January and 1st June, if any law has changed, by the time we are reviewing it on 1st June, we should correct it so that it now becomes compliant to the new law. Do we get?
Yeah.
Yes. So 1st January, you implemented it. Then Parliament passed a law on 1st April. So that when you review it on 1st June, you make that correction to the policy because of the amendment to the law that governs that policy. Is it clear enough?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So then you come to the next review date. The next review date. So now I've reviewed it on 1st June. When again am I supposed to review it? 1st December. So when you pick your risk, your control register, all this information should be available on the control. Then you're looking at the risk mitigated. What kind of risk have I stopped by implementing this control? Unauthorized access to sensitive system and data. Data encryption at rest. Data breaches due to unauthorized data access. So you remember the purposes that were in the control library. Those purposes have now become the risks that have been investigated. Do you remember them? And then what is the evidence? This is one of the things I want you to take note of. The evidence, it will always come up in your auditing. Whether you are being audited or you are doing the auditing, take note of your evidence. In this space, if there is no evidence, it means you have not done it. You remember I mentioned zero trust, right? That in this space, we don't trust anybody. The name of the game is evidence. And so I've implemented the control. It is working. What is the evidence that you have implemented the control? If there is no evidence, it means you have not done it. So whatever you do, keep evidence of it. Okay. I think I shared with you evidence. That is why I'm not in jail now. I think I shared that story, right? How evidence? Because I kept documents I was working with when I was with a certain organization. They're supposed to pay some contractor some amount of money now. And they are saying that I chopped the money. The beauty of working with God is that I woke up from a dream one day and I told my assistant, take pictures of all the documents and send it to me on WhatsApp. Years down the line, my assistant is now filling my position because I've left that place. And the assistant is now accusing me of chopping the money. Some lawyers called me, Kasa baby, I'm saying, listen, I have documents on my phone. I'm going to send it to you right now. Call the assistant who is accusing me. Let him check his phone. On the 22nd of November, 2022, he sent me these documents on checking his phone. That is how the matter died. And I'm still out of jail. And so the receipts you have, especially formal ones, please, I beg you, keep evidence. So that one day, okay, one day, when there is an issue, you can go confidently and pull out evidence and show that I have done this work. So what is the evidence that you have implemented user access management, user access logs, access request forms? Do I have an access request form here? Okay, so I have access request. Let's look at that. Do I have a form here? Okay, access request form sample. Okay, so are you seeing the access request form?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So a new request, change request, employee name, employee title, your phone number. So the system you want to access, okay, is here. And then the access request form. So then you state why you need the access to that particular file or document which you don't originally have access to. Then it's the approval, the supervisor signing this form. So whoever signed. So if you are seen on a particular system where you don't have access to, okay? Where you don't have access to, and then maybe you want to, they want to penalize you for getting on that system. How will you prove that you really had permission to get on that system? You have to pull out your access request form and your approval, you know, so. And so then you have evidence that you have implemented that control. Data encryption. What is the evidence? Encryption key management policy, encryption logs. And it goes on and on and on and on. Change management, change request form, like the one we just saw. Incident response planning. Incident response plan. We have an incident response plan somewhere. Okay, I don't have that. I'll look for an incident response plan and show you. So incident response plan, incident response report, incident report, and all of these are evidence of the fact that you have what? Implemented the control. IT audit management, IT security analyst. What is your evidence? Audit logs, log retention policy. All of these are evidences that what? You have implemented the control. Is it understood? Do we have a question? Or we are fine?
So far, so good.
Okay. So like I've been saying, I like to teach the thing before we look at the notes. That doesn't look like I'm reading some story for you. So a control register and a control library are related, but serve different purposes in the context of JRC. What is a control library? It is a comprehensive collection of all the controls that an organization might use. So they might use it. They have interest in it, so it is in their library. To manage risk and ensure compliance, it includes descriptions of each control and the associated frameworks. We've looked at that already. The control library is often more static, serving as reference for what controls are available to the organization. We've spoken about that. A control register is more dynamic. It's a more dynamic and operational tool that tracks the implementation, the status and management of controls within the organization. It is specific to the organization's current environment. So what is happening currently? What controls are you implementing currently? And includes details like the control status, the owner, the evidence. It's often used in the day-to-day operations to monitor and manage the effectiveness of controls. And so then the key differences. So purpose. It's a reference collection of all the potential controls. But the control register is a tracking tool for the controls that are actually in use. So the library has potential controls, all the controls you want to use one day. The register is the ones that are actually in use. It's just like my accounting people. When you are preparing a budget, okay, you have the forecast, and then you have the actuals. And so when you are reconciling, you juxtapose the forecasted figures against the actual figures. You know, so that is the same thing. If you want to use all these controls, but this is the ones you are actually using. So all the controls you want to use is in the library. The ones you are actually using now is in the register. Please, is the difference clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So content, the difference in their content contains description and details of a wide range of controls. But the register focuses on the current status, implementation, and ownership of the controls. So the control library looks at the details and the description of a wide range of controls, but the register focuses on the status of implementation and the ownership of the control. And how is it used? The library is used to select appropriate controls for managing risk. And the register is used to monitor the implementation and effectiveness of the selected controls. So these are the controls that are appropriate for us. But then the register is used to actually monitor the controls that we are using currently. So a control library might list user access management as a control, which details how it should be implemented according to different frameworks. The control register will show the user management is currently being implemented and who owns it and what it was last reviewed and when it will be reviewed and all of that. And so it's more like it is the tracking of the implementation of the control in force. Okay, so now we are getting into deeper waters. So as an IT auditor or a security analyst, you could be tasked to develop an information security control for a company. Okay, you could be tasked to develop a control for a company. And so we'll look at the control. Okay. The life cycle of planning a control. Let's hold on. Let's go for our 10 minutes break. Or let's do 5 and then come back and continue. Are we fine?
No,
Yes,
we
sir.
are not.
Why? What is it?
We have about some 20 minutes more to round up.
Okay, so we want us to finish.
Yes, let's just get it done.
Oh, maybe
Okay.
maybe Apostle wants to catch his breath.
Oh no, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm
All
fine. Okay. So somebody's asking, Prince, you are asking, you didn't see the 3 types of control features in the register. Is it necessary to show the register whether the control is preventive, detective, or corrective? No, it's not necessary. It's not necessary. That is for your own knowing and categorization. Okay, but however, once you are working with it, it is presumed that you know which is which. Right? Once you are working in the domain or you are working in the ecosystem, everybody picking that report or that register should already know where they fall. If you want to, for aesthetics purposes, you want to do it, it's no one will stop you, but it doesn't really change anything if you don't add it. Have I answered your question? Okay, let's make progress then. Yes, Della, you're saying something. I didn't hear you.
No, sorry, I'm not.
Okay. So, how to implement a control? So the full life cycle of a control. Let's start with that. We may not be able to finish, and then we'll continue tomorrow. Or we close and start that afresh tomorrow. What works for you?
Let's continue, sir.
Since this one is a little bit technical, I think we should
Let's start
start tomorrow. I will start
tomorrow.
I also think we should start afresh tomorrow.
You want to
Mature
start?
yeah.
All right, but aside from the network issues, have you enjoyed the class?
Yes, we have. But in order to refresh our minds, I would suggest that you made the slides available to us.
Yeah, I will do that right now.
Yeah, Apostle, we need a slide too, so that we can, you know,
yeah, I'll
first
do that
take our
right
note.
because technical without
You
them,
are off. You are off.
Am I on now?
Yes, please.
So where we are getting to is getting to a bit of deeper waters, and so I'll make them available to you so that you are for your learning and then adaptation.
That would be wonderful.
Yes, that's fine. And
that would be great.
All right. So then I think one of the things we will consider maybe tomorrow is maybe choosing a class coordinator or maybe a class rep or something who will be keeping me on my toes a little bit because it gets a little overwhelming sometimes. Are we fine? Let me stop the streaming. Pause there. Okay, so let me stop sharing my screen first.